Health and wellness princess welcome to Calm, where peace, reflection, and wisdom meet.
Welcome to the channel with Health and Wellness Princess. Have you ever felt that frantic need to rush? That feeling like you're constantly falling behind, that if you don't push and push, everything will just fall apart? I know I have. We live in a world that glorifies speed, faster internet, instant gratification, overnight success stories. It's no wonder we feel this constant pressure to hurry up. But what if I told you that the most beautiful, meaningful things in life can't be rushed? What if the real secret is learning to trust the process, to let things unfold in their own time? Think about a gardener planting a seed. They don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. They don't yell at it to sprout faster. They provide the right conditions: sun, water, good soil, and then they trust. They know that the seed has its own internal clock, its own perfect timing for when to break through the earth and reach for the sky. Our lives, our dreams, our personal growth, they're a lot like that seed. We can't force them. All we can do is create the right conditions and have faith in the unfolding. This idea hit me really hard a few years ago. I was working on a project I was incredibly passionate about, but it felt like I was hitting a brick wall every single day. I was staying up late, getting up early, skipping meals, just grinding away. I was convinced that if I just worked harder, if I just pushed more, I could force it to succeed. But the more I pushed, the more stressed and frustrated I became. The project wasn't moving forward, and my own well-being was taking a nosedive. I was completely burnt out. One afternoon, I just couldn't do it anymore. I went for a long walk in a nearby park, and I sat on a bench watching a river flow. It wasn't rushing, it wasn't frantic, it was just moving, steadily and persistently, navigating around rocks and bending with the landscape. It was going to reach the ocean, not by forcing its way, but by following its natural path. It was a light bulb moment. I realized I was trying to force my river, trying to blast through the rocks instead of flowing around them. So I decided to try an experiment. I took a step back. I started prioritizing my health again. I went for walks. I meditated. I spent time with friends. I still worked on the project, but I did it with a different energy. Instead of forcing, I was listening. Instead of pushing, I was allowing. And that's when everything changed. Ideas started to flow. Solutions to problems that had seemed impossible suddenly appeared. The project started to gain momentum, not because I was rushing it, but because I had finally given it the space to breathe and develop naturally. We often mistake activity for progress. We think that if we're not constantly busy, we're not moving forward. But sometimes the most productive thing you can do is be still. It's in those quiet moments that our intuition can speak to us. It's when we're not frantically trying to control every outcome that we can see the opportunities that are already there, waiting for us. Rushing creates anxiety, and anxiety clouds our judgment. It makes us reactive instead of responsive. When you're in a hurry, you're more likely to make mistakes, to miss important details, to choose the wrong path, simply because it seems like a shortcut. Think about learning a new skill, like playing the guitar. On day one, you can't play a masterpiece. Your fingers are clumsy, the chords sound wrong. You can't rush your fingers into knowing where to go. You have to practice consistently, day after day, building muscle memory, letting the knowledge sink in. It's a process of gradual unfolding. Each practice session is like watering the seed. You might not see the growth overnight, but it's happening beneath the surface. One day, you pick up the guitar and you can play that song you love without even thinking about it. It just flows. That's the magic of allowing things to unfold. This applies to our relationships, too. You can't rush intimacy or trust. You can't force someone to love you or understand you. These things have to grow organically over time through shared experiences, through vulnerability, through patient communication. When we try to rush a relationship, we often end up sabotaging it. We become needy or demanding. We skip the crucial steps of getting to know someone authentically, and we build a connection on a shaky foundation. True lasting relationships are like a slow-cooked meal. The flavors need time to meld together to create something truly rich and satisfying. So, how do we practice this? How do we stop rushing when the whole world is telling us to go faster? It starts with mindfulness. It starts with paying attention to that feeling of frantic energy in your body. When you feel it rising, just pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what am I afraid will happen if I slow down? Often, our need to rush is driven by fear of missing out, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. By acknowledging that fear, we can start to disarm it. Next, focus on the process, not just the outcome. Fall in love with the daily practice. If you're writing a book, enjoy the act of putting words on the page each day. Don't just fixate on the finished novel. If you're building a business, find joy in solving the small daily problems. Don't just obsess over the multi-million-dollar exit. When you find joy in the journey, the destination becomes less of an urgent necessity and more of a natural consequence. The unfolding itself becomes the reward. And finally, practice patience and trust. Trust in yourself that you have the skills and resilience to handle whatever comes your way. Trust in the process that your consistent efforts are compounding, even when you can't see the results immediately. And trust in the timing of your life. Maybe that thing you want so badly is unhappening right now because you're not ready for it yet. Maybe there's a lesson you need to learn first. Maybe something even better is waiting for you just around the corner, something you can't even imagine yet. Slowing down doesn't mean stopping. It doesn't mean being lazy or passive. It means moving with intention, with purpose, and with an awareness of the natural rhythm of life. It's the difference between frantically splashing in the water and learning to surf the waves. You don't control the waves, but you can learn to ride them with grace and skill. So I invite you to take a deep breath. Look at the area of your life where you feel the most pressure to rush. And just ask yourself, what would happen if I trusted the unfolding? What if I gave it space to breathe? You might be surprised by the beautiful things that begin to blossom when you finally stop trying to force them to grow. Let go of the frantic need to control every detail and instead become a curious observer of your own life's beautiful, unhurried unfolding. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this message resonated with you, please give this video a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more conversations like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, be kind to yourself and trust your journey.